Hey, it's Red
What?
Summer.
And go.
Hi, it's Red Summer.
And I'm Hanifah Walida.
And we are your gay aunties. Welcome back, babies.
Welcome back. Welcome back. Oh my gosh. And yeah, it's like I almost don't know where I'm at. Are we in queer walk land? Are we? I don't
Right.
know what's going on. But no, we are back.
Yeah.
We are back.
Yes, we are.
As your gay
We are here
aunties.
at the end of the month.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Tell me about your Pride Month. Did you get to do anything prideful?
In my house? Not really. You know, not really. Not really.
I did do that one socially distant pride in the parking lots outing. So everyone parked it like with spaces in between, and we put the chairs in front of our cars and just hung out and like waved to each other. And we ate and drank and everything, our own food in our own cars, and just, it was hilarious.
You know what? Let's just take this time to reflect. You know what I'm saying? We try to do the most with the least. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Let's just take this time to reflect during Pride. As you know, we had the OH BOI Contest, so we try to have a little bit of fun, maybe a little bit of fun. Anyway, you guys, welcome. This is your Gay Aunties. It is a weekly podcast that is centered around queer adulting. Yes, and if you want Auntie Hanifah, excuse me. I'm not reading in third person, trust me. If you want Auntie Red or myself to answer questions about life, love, or any of life's experiences, just tap your gay aunties on the shoulder via email at yourgayaunties at gmail.com. Or you can Instagram us or Twitter us. It's all your gay aunties, y'all. And every day, of course, we come to you live here on YouTube, and then Wednesdays via iTunes or Spotify or all the places. Welcome. Hey. Yay.
Yay.
So
I am all over the place apparently.
yeah, that's okay. We gonna keep it moving, yo, because we're really excited
Absolutely.
about today's guest. So first of all, we got another lights on contributor. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, boom, boom. So big up to Pamela. How you do that? What's that noise? Hey, hey. Yes, Auntie Hanifah is back here doing back at the controls. Our wonderful intern, Kiara, is stuck in traffic with her mama. So, we doing this. We're going back to the old school. Anyway, we just want to thank everyone for like a beautiful month of Lights On to support this podcast and our partners in Lights On Queer Walk Pod. All the money that has been contributed will be split between the both of us to what? Keep the lights on. So thank you, Pamela, for contributing. Also, we want to big up everyone who else has contributed. Natalia, Sami, and Kenneth twice. Beautiful. So everything is going to be split with everyone. We raised about $120. So people like were dropping. So
Nice.
like we had a few contributors, but they was like dropping some pieces, some dimes, and some quarters. You know what I'm saying?
Nice. Thank you all so much for the
Thank
support.
you.
And it just is such a blessing to be able to like share this experience with other queer podcasts and
Word.
be able to really just share your love with the people the way that we share
Yes.
our love with you.
And you do actually have a couple of more days. There's still a couple more days in June. So if you do want to contribute to Lights On, get your last quarters and dimes in there, you can easily do it on Venmo. Our Venmo account is B as in boy, B909 Creative. Yeah, you can do that, or you can go on patreon.com/your gay aunties to contribute there on the Lights On tier. Boom. Thank you, y'all.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. And there are other ways that you can support your gay aunties that are not even monetary. Say you just like, it's light right now, sis. Like, we out here in these corona streets.
That's
Times are
right.
hard. All you have to do is go to our iTunes. You can go to SoundCloud, wherever it is that you listen to the podcast, and leave us a review.
Hey.
You can just say how much you love us and how much you appreciate us and all the good things that make our scores go up.
I'm
And
sorry.
make sure that people know that this is a podcast that they should also listen to. And you can just help us in that way, right? So it doesn't always have to be, I'm going to take some dollars out of my pocket and give it to you, gay aunties. Although we enjoy and appreciate having that support in that way, there are other ways, right? And so we are really, really excited every time we get a review and every time someone takes that time to just give us a thumb up, or they send questions in for on Wednesdays for our tweet tea, or they just leave a voice message. So if you go on our IG at your gay aunties, you can go on our link tree, I think it's called, and you can voice your concerns for things that are going on. You can ask questions, you can leave us comments, whatever it is that you like to share with us, you can speak your truth right there. All of those are ways that you can support your gay aunties by participating, as well as going to your gay aunties at gmail.com and sending us a letter so that we can keep the show rolling.
I felt. I
You're
felt.
muted, honey.
I'm. Oh shit. Hold on.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Hold on. How do I fuck am I unmute myself?
You're still muted. So I'm going to go on Wednesday. I do from I think it's from 6 to 7 Eastern time. I do something called Auntie Red's Tweet Tea. And
Okay.
on the tweet tea, yes, you're back. On the tweet tea, people send in questions and I answer them live. And so one of the questions that we got last week, or this week that just passed, says, I hear the elders always talking about voting, but honestly, I don't think it works. What are more tangible ways that we can change the system? And I thought that was a really good
Yeah.
question.
Yeah.
And so I said voting is one part because it allows for balance in the political system. I think we should balance out all systems: education, law enforcement, tech, entertainment, like whatever lane you're in, just spend your time making sure that those lanes are also balanced and that they're representing um, just the concept of supporting people of color. Right?
And also, if I can just chime in on that really quickly, one of the biggest challenges that your generation or this generation, even the people sitting here on this show's generation, is to get rid of the electoral college. And you motherfuckers do that, and also focus more on the local elections. Boom.
Hmm. Yeah.
That's that. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Okay,
So tweet me every Wednesday at 6 o'clock, and we can talk about whatever you'd like to talk about. You can ask me whatever. We've had questions from like my least and favorite jobs, like how to support, how to do self care. Like we've had all kind of topics. So it's really one of my highlights of the week.
say word. Oh God, I can't wait until Kiera come back. All right. Y'all see, I'm having a moment back here for you guys who are watching us live. I'm over here wrestling with the light. You know what I'm saying? And I'm on mute. Am I on mute? But I think I have it together, and we're both here. Okay. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Yes. Yes. All
I
right.
saw you on the struggle.
But yeah,
Got it back
I
together.
know. All right, it's like the light came alive. We just started wrestling. You know what I'm saying? I was trying to. Anyway, all that being said. So, moving on, we have a big announcement. Well, it's not a big announcement. It's just we cleaning house here. We as in me and Red and the whole your gay aunties team, we are going on break because you know we don't break. These bitches don't be taking no breaks. We need to take a break. All right, so we are going to be taking a break throughout the month of July. As far as broadcasting, we're still going to be giving you content as we creative and staying connected with you guys on both Twitter and IG. Just a little couple of special things, but no regular Sunday and Wednesday broadcasts. And then we're going to return in August. And when we return, okay, here's the big announcement. Womp. Let me do the air horn, cause fuck it, no, it's gonna be an applause announcement. Yes, okay. We've decided that moving into our new season, we've learned so much these past 90 episodes. We've learned so much. We've adjusted so much. Those of you who have complained about the audio, we have fixed that. Hey.
Yeah.
At least in the last 3 episodes, you know what I'm saying? Well, come on, y'all, come on.
Right. We did it. We did it.
So,
thank you for being patient with your auntie.
Thank you. But we good now with the audio, right? Right. At least the end audio. All that being said, one of the things we also realize is that though we love coming to you, that we're going to instead of being a weekly podcast, we're going to be bi-weekly, but instead of coming to you for an hour, we're going to stretch that to an hour and a half, 2 hours. So you get more of us when you get us. But this way we can have a lot more ease in providing content to you on a regular basis. Now that things are starting to move smoothly, well, that's when our interns are here, because me and the light had an issue. Okay? All right. So that we get... But, we just want to let you guys know that starting in August, we're going to be on a whole new timeline. We'll let you know about everything on Twitter and IG as far as when exactly we're coming back. But we are going to take a month off for that. Boom.
Yay, vacation.
Hey. All right, so I think it's that time. Is it that time? Yes, let's go into Auntie... if I can find the cue, there we go. Hey, Auntie Gems.
What in the world is in that bag?
Wonderful. And for this week, my Auntie Gem is actually was brought up for me by my best friend Saya. Mm-hmm. And Saya started watching Pose, and she called me and was like, "Oh my God, like this is our life." Like, this is totally our life. Like, you are a house mother. And I started laughing because I was like, yeah. So, we've talked a lot about, my children and my biological children and my foster children and my grandchildren and all of that. And we are here now for my grandson's high school graduation. And I'm here in Tennessee for that. And my family is here with me.
Oh, they're gonna come in. Come in the frame. Look at that. Look at them grown ass kids. Auntie Red got grown ass kids.
That's the children.
Okay, so I'm so excited, and they're over in the corner watching the show with us, and we're going to have a great day celebrating our family that we created, right? Mm-hmm. And so in my experience as a house mother, right, I have just really enjoyed being able to build out my family and support the children in my community and really live that village reality, right? And so today is just a beautiful day where I get to just bask in the house that Red built.
Yes. Oh God, it's that moment, it's that last scene in season 2, Pose. I mean, minus the wheelchair, but the whole, like, you are America, baby. Like, you know what I'm saying? Well, what America can be anyway. But you are that house mother. You are house mother of the year here.
Family.
No, what a beautiful thing, to be able to cultivate, to bring children into the world, but also being able to cultivate just children who are here in the world, and bringing them to fruition and becoming, like, look at those beautiful people who aren't watching this live on YouTube. You missed a flash of, like, a beautiful ass family. Okay, beautiful family.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank
And
you.
so that's what I have to share.
Yeah. So and just one quick thing is, as far as the houses and you and being a house mother, of on every level, like we have so many house mothers out there that look different ways. Some look like in pose where it's like, in houses and balls and everything. And then there are house mothers that are not as institutionalized, but are just like, they are there. They've always been there. But I think we need to hold these people up, and know that this is something that is part of the queer culture, period.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And inherently black.
And inherently black. Black as fuck.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, my jam. I'm excited. I put a little medley together because we recently had the OH BOI contest, and we're excited because we have our winner, Mabell Holand, on, right? But I wanted to give some light to some of the other nominees or contestants, because there were a lot of talent there. That's one reason why, at first we kind of posted it where it's just like, oh, they look good, right? Who are you attracted to? But and then I started really digging into people's pages. I'm like, obviously, as we know, there is a deeper level to us, always a deeper level. So I wanted to present that talent to help people with their voting. And because it was so much talent, this is a quick little review of amazing nominees, and in the order, first we have it's going to be one quick medley, so it's Champagne Poet, Norkin for Life, Siren Sav, Billy Jr. Official, and Roddy the Poet. All right, y'all. Here it goes. If I got this right.
Making it seem so easy to silence a bomb. Every time they kill one of us, they are pulling the keys from grenades, expecting us not to explode. When will they learn here on earth that being young and black is synonymous with being guilty? Bang! And I am here wondering if there are lessons to be learned in heaven. Bang! And do they give out diplomas there? Bang! Will any of our lost ones have graduated with honors? How long shall they kill our prophets? While we stand aside and look, some say it's just a part of it. We've got to fulfill the book.
Hold up, let's establish what we came for. I want establishments that's so fabulous with three flows. I wanna fuck the game up, shower ride, no Nico, no me's, blowing J's, no CV. I got love for hip hop, believe me. She keep texting me, says she need me. Niggas out here ain't doing the right, so she call my jacket talk crazy. And I'm just out here living my life, she so needy. But that beat there where she need me, for sleazy. Dressed in alumnus simply cause I rush it, damn I make this look easy. From the blocks with these quicker cats, get paid a whole lot, just a bunch of shots. Another block, another black man down on the goddamn ground, it ain't even hot.
Siren Sav is the name. I'd be so sick in the way that I spit. Wigs would I split, bad to the bone. That be this chick, moving slow-mo cause my flow be too quick. Need some medication for my concentration. I be shitting on these bitches, no constipation. Fuckin' with me, bitch, and your time you be wasting. I killed the game, nigga, annihilation. I fuck the game, so I be the father. I run this shit, nigga, why you even bother? I don't even spit, nigga, my mouth water. Fuck around with me and I'll cut you, no barber.
Yeah. See, I don't know if it's just me. Yeah. See, I don't know if it's just me or I'm just too immature, but I don't like talking much. Retired from the people pleasing, it was never really them, but it was I was giving up and I was like, fuck. Cause like, I don't like giving up. I feel like I would have to die, so as long as I'm alive, I'm never feeling like my time's up. I wanna bring life to what's down until the vibe is up. Be that warm child when the high is up. Talk about the tide as it rises up. But I can't shine a light without the blinds up. It almost feel like too many mistakes, too many who's is too me up in your face.
Yes. Eyes roll in the back of the head, and the body becomes lifeless. He always like this when we high. Paranoid as fuck, nerves paralyzed. Probably thinking the cops gon' bustin' on us like last time. When they smell probable cause, search us both. But only ask me for my papers. The neighbors called again, complained again. So that time they came to make a point. While search dogs to do a walkthrough, German shepherds will find the Jew. I mean the joint. But Roddy hid the weed under the floorboards. Her history taught her it's safer underground when hiding from the hounds.
All right. Listen. Wait, hold on. Why ain't nobody? Oh, hold on. There we go. Oop. All right, there you go, baby. All right, listen. All right, yeah, skills. It was a lot.
Talent in our community.
There's always talent in our community, and I kind of knew that was gonna happen. So I'm glad that it did. But I wanted to give some other. Make sure that, many people as possible got light. And, we did this whole OH BOI Contest because it's really trying to appreciate masculinity or a kind of masculinity that's not always appreciated in media in general, or if not for nothing, really, seen. We all can't live through Lena Waithe, you know what I'm saying? So,
right.
You know what I'm saying? So, the more of us that are presenting us, the better. And so we had a really great selection of masculine presenting individuals, and we have the winner on the show a little later on. So yay!
Yeah, wonderful.
Yeah, we're gonna get in it, y'all. So is it that time to take a quick break?
It is.
Just a really quick one, a quickie one. Okay. All right, let me go with my notes. All right. So the only thing we got to say is that as we move on to our next season, and your gay aunties coming at you with all different reasons. I'm sorry. I don't know where I was going with that. All that being said, we need your help to stay ahead. Looking for that intern. Make that too. Interns, yeah. Are you someone who likes social media?
Yeah.
Always on that bitch. Whoa, scratch that itch. Become an intern.
So I know, we're saying this as a joke. Hanifah is great at a lot of these things, but your Auntie Red needs help. Okay, so every Wednesday when I'm doing the tweet tea, I don't know much about Twitter at all, so I need y'all help.
An intern.
So that is why it is important that as our last intern class is graduating, that we are welcoming in our new intern class, right? And we were so blessed to have amazing young people on our team, and we love them, and we're so excited to see them go on and do wonderful things in life. And we are waiting for you.
So if you want to be our intern, right? So here's what you do. If you want to be our intern, we need someone to help us with social media. We have structure in place, but we need someone to be in charge of that because bitches is busy. All right. Also, we are looking into some sponsorship opportunities. So we also need an intern who is well written and good in correspondence. There's two different things. Just saying.
For those of you who are watching.
Exactly. And have a general interest or strong interest in brand marketing, because you're going to help us with that as well. So we really, we live and breathe and love our interns. So if you want to be our intern, you can easily sign up. We have a simple form you can access via our IG page. In the link, in our link tree, it simply says internship form. So click that, it'll take you there, and introduce yourself and let us know why you want to work for us and what you got. And we'll make it worth your while. All right? All right, y'all. All right. Now it's the time of the show we like when we have beautiful people in the house. And we have letters about. We're going to make it. We're going to do it. What? All right.
We have
guests. All right, so I'm just going to read her bio a little bit. So, Mabell Holand. All right, see, because our winners, they got bios.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. They are a writer, activist, and poet. With a BA in pedagogy, they have actively chosen a line of career that has centered around the human and human experience. Their work is inspired by the motivation for social change, whether it is regarding queer topics or movements such as Black Lives Matter. They are currently a project leader on the production of Black representation in Black History Month, Norway. And also, okay, and also she doing the work, and also part of a newly founded group with the goal to create a safe space for queer Black women. Another project is, I'm sorry, I'm reading now, sorry, girl. She doing a lot. All right. You know what I'm saying? All right, so we would like to introduce, aside from being an incredible activist, someone who speaks their mind, Mabell is also fine as fuck, which is why one of the reasons why Mabell won our OH BOI Contest.
Yes.
So with no further,
okay.
with no further ado, welcome everybody, Mabell Holand, straight from Norway. Hold on, make sure your sound's on, girl. Hold on. I got you.
You got me?
Yes,
You-
yes, I got you. I just wanted to make sure it was on point. All right.
Welcome.
Welcome to our space in the world.
Thank you for having me.
Totally, and I'm sure others are really happy to see you as well in the flesh.
Living, breathing flesh, honey.
Right? Are they real?
It's
Are
all
they real?
here.
So,
Well, I'm gonna stop for a second and give you an opportunity
Yes.
to share with us your talents, your skill, and then we'll get into all the other stuff. How about that?
You want me to do the poem now? Like now?
yeah, well, we were trying to practice something else, but that's what we're gonna do a poem right now. Yeah, go on.
I'm a poet, so I love poets. So
Yes,
go.
make it happen.
Okay, I'm gonna get
Get
at
to the
it.
word.
Need y'all guys to breathe and tune in with me, okay?
Okay.
Okay, let's go. I can see the disappointment in her eyes as I enter the venue. She grips tighter around his hand as if she's proving something, degrading herself to a piece of jewelry on his arm. But the resentment she feels for me is penetrating the space between us. If I knew she'd be here, I would have never shown. Peculiar how the happiest I've been is also the saddest. Even though she's hiding behind those big locks of hair, I feel her eyes on me, and it's just like coming home. She is well aware that her heartache is visible to me, the kind of woman who promised herself never to settle. And in that moment where she thought she actually had it all, our souls connected in a bittersweet moment, seconds of pure truth. I walk past her like a cliche, how I wish this moment will never end. She forces a smile, if only to thank me, tears watering those big brown eyes, because she knows, we both know, as if we're soldiers on the battleground, aware this is our final goodbye. She hates me for not crossing her path sooner, and I hate how nothing is coincidence. I know I met the love of my life today, and all I could do was watch her leave.
Oh,
Wow. See, that's why you the winner. That was beautiful. And heartbreaking.
And heartbreaking.
Yeah, and all the things.
Yeah, my life is just a big heartbreak, so.
I find that hard to believe, but okay, we'll roll with that.
And yeah, well, I'll leave that alone for later.
But no,
Yes.
I thought that was beautiful about those moments, how rich a passing moment can be, and how heartbreaking a passing moment can be.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And how much is said in a silence. Yes.
You don't need words, you don't need words.
Yes.
You just know. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for joining us and being able to be with us all the way from Norway is where you
Yeah,
are?
and
Where is that?
let's get into that. Let's get into that because it was an extra blessing, I think, to not only get a handsome and talented person on here, but also a black person that's living abroad in your body, in your form, in your expression, who you are. You know, and I thought this would be a great opportunity for people who haven't traveled much, who listen to our show. So, like, what exactly does that look like? Because me and Red talk about it sometimes, but what does that look like, especially during this time? What does that look like for you in Norway, being your beautiful self?
Being in Norway at this time is quite conflicting, actually, because living in Northern Europe, you're faced with a whole nother societal structure than what I can tell is coming out of America. So we're facing, like this hidden structures that is really hard for us to like kind of depict and to battle with, because you can't really pinpoint anything on nobody. So we're just like in a limbo situation trying to, make some changes up in here.
How? No, because I think it's good for people too who have never been to Norway and can imagine. Yes, it is a majority. It is a majority white country, but don't really understand how white. And that it's a slightly it's the same kind of white, but it's a different kind of white. And how we may navigate race. If you live in butt-ass Utah as a black person. It's probably a similar kind of thing, but I don't know. That's why I'm just, I don't think a lot of people really understand the world in which you live.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. You can have Black Pride here, of course. A lot of us have it, and we try our best to communicate that, but we're still in this situation here where. We're not considered like Afro-Norwegian or Afro-European or anything like that. We're like basically just second generation immigrants, or we're considered like refugees or people fleeing from war and famine. So we don't have like this black Northern European whatever identity, So it's really something else to navigate in here. And also we are lacking like so much black representation, which is why I'm also doing this project with Black History Month Norway, because we definitely need to put ourselves on the map. I mean, like black people here are not aware that we've been here for 400 years. Even black people ourselves, we are not aware.
Yeah. We weren't aware. We're like, what? They've been shipping Negroes up to Norway 400 years back.
Yeah, that's the crazy part.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, and that we exist everywhere.
Yeah, what I think is very interesting about what you just said is that being African American, like even having that hyphenated title, which some of us agree to accept or we reject, right? But it still gives us place in the space. And so I hadn't thought about like what happens when you are black in a nation that has not declared you a part of that space, right?
Yeah.
Well, I was saying even the flip.
I haven't been to Norway, but like when we both been to Sweden, and that is, it was weird because that there are black people and people like other nationalities that are there. However, it's almost overlooked in their concept of acceptance is kind of like the I don't see color thing, where it's like, oh, well, I just won't acknowledge that you are not white, right? Which is an erasure in itself.
Yeah. Like that's the worst part of it. Like I'm not seeing color, so I'm not a racist, and I'm not gonna like acknowledge that you have challenges that I don't even face. Like that's a huge part of living here. People acting like that.
And it's interesting because in America, we deal with the whole hyphenated bullshit, in Norway and a lot of Nordic countries in general, is that kind of, you're just other, period. We ain't figured out what to call y'all type of thing, right? Even though we've been here for hundreds of years, right? And then you have this other kind of, because there's differences in Europeans in their relationship with slavery. And then we have people like in France, where we still have this bullshit of, I don't see race, that's an American thing. But in France, there's no hyphenation there, and there's no, that they don't have that identity thing. They have the absolute opposite. You're just French. Forget anything that you came from. We don't want no hyphenation, no nothing. But then so whereas the Americans is a visible hypocrisy with the hyphen, they are the invisible hypocrisy, because they say, nah, y'all ain't on that bullshit. Y'all French, but not really. Not really, really. Even though y'all been here generations deep, but when we think of French, we don't think y'all niggas.
But you have to qualify for that title as being French, right?
Well, if you're
that you are acceptable, or that you are, that.
But that got nothing to do with the streets, though. I think a lot of people of color are by default you're just walking down the street, all different kinds of French people who've been there for generations, black, white, whatever, some immigrants, some not, whatever. People of color, without speaking to them, are assumed to be immigrant, maybe first or second. Like the understanding of how long black people have been in a country and how that should be. French people have not done the work of attaching their migration history to their identity.
Yeah.
And so it's always kind of weird. So all of that is happening.
Because I think about the brother who saved the baby that was up falling off the balcony. And he was an immigrant when he went up the balcony, climbed up the side of the building to save the baby, but he was French when he got to the bottom.
All the soccer players, or the football players too, same thing.
Yeah. You just got to make sure that you're comfortable, that you're kind, that you're polite, that you're checking every little box. And maybe then you'll be like allowed into, like, let's say the entree, like the hallway of this whole society thing, But at the same time, you're giving like the equal rights, like on paper, you're getting the same opportunities for work and education and everything like that. So like the framework is like equality. But like they just don't call you if you got a foreign name or whatever like that. Like, so you see a lot of that shit. And I think like we're so dispersed here in a way. So like I think our relationship to Black excellence is also a whole nother story, because we're not like raised to like embrace the same kind of identity. And I'm not saying that people are not embracing, but like what society kind of wants us to have, like in America, you are like still, you have a lot of the urban culture with the hip hop, and there's a lot of like Black role models that you can follow if you want to look to somebody, we don't have that here. So like just a funny example, like me, every time I ride in my car and I pass a brother or a sister in a nice car, we lock eyes, we're like surprised to see another Black person drive a nice car. Like that's, and we're like, whoa, that's cool. You done good for yourself.
I think
because
that
that's
too.
like the
we do that too.
We're just a sad, depressive picture, like none of us are really capable of nothing. And they don't want to tell you that that's the truth, but that's the truth.
So you see yourself staying in Norway in the future?
Actually, I do. Yeah, but I definitely have a need to explore more and to like embrace a lot more of the experiences that is coming my way. And I'm definitely open to a lot. But what is special about Norway is, of course, like our relationship with police violence and stuff like that. Like we have a lot of racism here, but it's not necessarily going to kill us. And I think that Norway, Sweden, and Denmark are maybe one of the few places in the world where you can actually feel kind of safe, that you will not lose your life over like small little things,
Yeah,
because
like I felt safe with
brutality throughout you. Yeah,
that's a real thing, and I think every Black person should at least experience it at least once, is not being scared, particularly of the police, because the institution of the police didn't come out of slavery in other countries per se. So that thing isn't there, you know. So
yeah, but let it be known though, like there are racist structures in our police as well. Like I can't even count how many times I've been pulled over by the police for no reason. But here they are not allowed to kill anyone. Yeah. Like they can only kill you if they see you kill like tens of people, and even then they will try to like put you down gently. Yeah. So that's the difference, you know. But of course we are suffering from systemic bullshit over here as well. But it's not, you know, you don't have to fear for your life, and I think that's a huge difference, and that's a good reason to stay.
No, that's real.
I just like caved into myself for a second. Like I don't even know what that's like. Like I have never lived in a world where I have not had to be aware of the imminent threat of the police in my community.
And we don't call the police here. It has to be, I mean, not for nothing, even on a home invasion, you know, grab your piece and keep it moving. Like, you have to do a lot in a black community for another black person to call the police on someone. Yeah. Because we know it can turn out anyway.
To help us, and then the police show up at our door and shoot us.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And we're the ones that call.
We're the motherfuckers that call.
Yeah.
You know? Or shoot someone we love. Or whatever. You know what? We're going to keep this topic of race going on, but we're going to put it into the letter, because this letter actually has to deal with race, but relationships.
Spin on it.
Huh? Say again.
A little spin on it.
A little spin on it.
We put a little spin on it.
So Mabell, you're going to help us with this letter. All right, here go, y'all. Now, this person actually wrote 2 letters because they one time when they first wrote, they wrote before everything popped off with George Floyd, and then they wrote a backup letter. But I'm going to read both letters because I think they both support each other, and you don't need to change nothing, baby. You asking a clear question, so I'm going to do it. Okay, so, hey, aunties. First of all, thank you for your podcast. It's a great resource for those who don't have the real familial aunties that were so helpful in the past. Second, happy Pride Month. Happy Pride Month. Just some background. I am a later in life queer, late 30s. Like the typical storyline, I knew from a younger age that I was attracted to women. I found your podcast while doing some research on general African American culture. I am Asian descent and started dating a beautiful black woman. I realized very early in our relationship that the racial and cultural differences created some difficulties in connecting with her on a more intimate level. While there was no doubt in my mind that I love her deeply, it was somewhat difficult for me to accept that there are some things about her in her background that I will never be able to understand. As humbling as it is to admit, I had to be honest with myself and come to an understanding that I had been one of those living in the dark and had very poor knowledge on the history of African American life struggles in America. In an attempt to perform personal growth, I have been doing a lot of learning, like listen to us, all right, okay, and listening to different views and aspects on African American history, both straight and queer. I have 2 questions. Just one question we're addressing here. I am very curious for your perspective, some advice on how to be in an interracial relationship with a strong, gorgeous black woman, and things that you found were both helpful in creating an environment that creates safety and understanding of how to be in an intimate relationship with a person of color. Also, if you have some topics of experiences that would be helpful to know are off limits, or areas that would be something that would basically create more harm than help. Great, I'm glad you asked that. I've heard some episodes on this in the past, but from a person that has basically had an easy road through life, I think it is very important to acknowledge that while we have made strides in some areas of understanding, that is always a great room of growth for everyone. Now, she identifies as she, gets backed it up, say, hey, with another letter, just so you know, she wrote me back and she was like, hey, aunties, in light of what has been going on in the country, in the world, please disregard the last email. But I'm not disregarding it because I think she said she wanted to just ask this simple question. As a woman of color, how would you want your romantic partner who is not of color to support you in this time of racial tension? We obviously will never be able to understand the deep-rooted hurt that come with being a black person, gay women in particular in this country. We all need to stand up and support all the African Americans in this country and all the people of color. Yeah. Oh, yay. Thank you. Love us. All right. So there's a few things going on. Thank you. The person's name is Skip.
All right, Skip.
All right, Skip. And Skip identified she. I hope I got there. I didn't put the damn name in here. I believe it was Skip. Yes, Skip. All right, so Skip is asking a couple of questions here, and I want to include both letters, right?
Yeah.
So. Well, what are y'all hearing? What are the questions y'all hearing here? Because I hear a couple of them floating around here.
So perspectives on dating a black woman,
a gorgeous black woman,
or otherwise.
I
don't know. Like how you figure out that it's not right. I think like whoever you are dating.
I'm just
this
poking,
woman is gorgeous and black. And you are not black. And I do think it's interesting that the second question states that I am not of color when Skip is Asian. And
wait a minute.
I was so confused. I was like,
yeah. Oh, I didn't peep that, but I also did peep that Skip made it very clear that I've lived an easy life. So though you may be Asian, you may be of the Asian that has allowed you to live a comfortable life. Or you don't have to deal with the Asian part too much.
There's part of that, right? There's part of that conversation about the acceptable minorities, right? The preferred minorities, I think is the term. And so when you have those dynamics there, it can be a little tricky, right? Because we know that there are some people who classify as people of color but don't identify with the experience of people who have been marginalized, right?
Yeah.
So there are a couple of things here. I don't know the lived experience of this beautiful black woman that you are dating. She may not participate in or identify with the experience of people who have been marginalized, although she is a black woman, right? So there are plenty of people who have varied experiences. And I think assuming that because she's black, that she has this particular like blanket experience or blanket mentality that we can tap you into is going to be dangerous as well, right? So there are just as many types of black women as there are types of shoes, honey, because we bring it all. Like, we bring it all the time. And I think maybe starting there and having your relationship steeped in maybe some commonalities and not shying away from the differences, not pretending that they don't exist or pretending that they don't shape who she is, right?
Or who you are.
Yeah, and we're directing this towards the beautiful black woman, right? But I think that if you start to tap into your history and your people and how you came to be in the country and what's going on in your motherland, then you might find that you all have some things, some points of understanding with each other, right? It doesn't just have to be that, oh, you know, your people experience this, but I'm not experiencing it, so I can't understand. I've definitely met Asian women in my life who have talked to me about the experiences of their people and how they are empathetic and sympathetic to the experiences that black people have because they know their own culture and their own history. And so that's been able to inform a more rich connection between their relationships with black people, especially here in America.
Mm-hmm.
Well, my first thought was actually that leading with fear of saying the wrong thing, I think potentially can do a lot more damage than actually just saying something at all. I think my advice for this person this person who identifies as somebody of not color, ask the questions, because in the end, if you ask questions like, are you up for this? Do you have the headspace to discuss this? Are you in a mental state right now where we can talk about some stuff that might be difficult, or whatever it is that has formed your life and shaped your experience? I think it's a matter of starting there, more than being scared of saying potentially harmful things, because in the end, you guys love each other and you're together in a relationship, which means there is a foundation of trust there, hopefully. And in regards to the second letter, about how to deal with stuff right now, I think that the same rule applies there, just being considerate and not jumping into this kind of a state of anger on behalf of somebody. Rather,
yes.
What do you need right now? I think what is going on is what a tremendous experience for you in a negative way. How can I be of service? How can I assist you or support you or whatever it is, rather than being oh my God, it's so infuriating, what is going on, and it's so unfair. And then you're like a black person, you're sit back there okay, well, you said it all, so let me just, you feel me?
Yeah.
About that experience, dang.
Yeah, I know. And Skip, just kind of bouncing off something that Red was kind of diving into in regards to your own history, because I used to say the things. Well, I'm just gonna say it. Sometimes you don't get what you want. Sometimes you are not in the space to get whatever the imagined intimacy you want with this woman, because bitch, you ain't read enough yet. I mean, you don't know enough yet about your own history in context of this woman's history. So not just, okay, how we as Asian people have been oppressed by the white man, but how we as Asian people have oppressed black people. How we as Asian people in America anyway, have benefited from the work and blood and sweat of black people in regards to just your general fucking rights. All right? Now, if you can then, if you're going to be in a relationship with this black woman or any black woman or any person, any black woman, at least you're armed with because history is important, because then you can speak within context. Then it's also humbling, it's also humbling, to be able to step back and to be present with someone dealing with the world, always trying to give input. So don't let all the education have you be a chatty patty either. You know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers don't want to be hearing all your education. They want to see your education in action or lack thereof, knowing how education to help you read the room, read the intimacy room, and how you should place yourself. And also, again, it's humbling, so there is not this sense of another way that entitlement shows up is this kind of paternal, and this comes with whiteness, and this is what maybe your Asianness is more akin to, whether you are ready to embrace that enough, but the paternalness of whiteness to want to fix the situation. The maternalness, or fix the situation through that person as opposed to with oneself, Mm-hmm. So most of the work you should be doing in these times, if you are in a relationship with a person of color, is donate. If you got the money, you better be donating to every motherfucking organization you can find, okay? And you need to learn how to read the room, and what you need to do is find a room of your own and read on some books, find your own history, our history. Just do the work. That is a meditation, as in being a relationship, period, is. But since you are choosing to be in a relationship with a person of color that is not your color, that is the meditation, that is a part of it. You got to do your homework. Shit, we have to, if you, listen, can I just say one quick little story in regards to, even for black people, all right? I had a rude awakening. I had a really good friend. She wasn't an intimate partner, but she was a really good friend of mine. Oh, she still is a good friend of mine. An Asian American woman, both same, economic strategy, or struggling artists, whatever. And I remember us watching the TV one day, and a commercial came on. It was some Ben Stiller movie, some kung fu Ben Stiller movie. He was playing the Chinese man. All right, and At one point, he did a hi-ya, like kicked a cow or something. I don't remember that commercial read. Anyway, all that being saying, I laughed for a second and a half. But then my friend was like, I hate this fucking commercial. And the kind of venom that she exuded, I recognized that.
Exactly.
I recognized that level of motherfuckers, you know what I mean? And because I was a Black American, I wasn't privy to her particular pain until actually experiencing it. So I didn't decide, this is a teachable moment for Hanifah, I'm going to have a conversation with my friend. Nah, I checked myself. I was like, I see the commercial now for what it is. I literally did not see the commercial for what it was to my friend. So sometimes when you just experience someone you love go through hardship, all you need to do sometimes is take fucking notes and then act upon those notes and not feel like you got to chime in if she ain't asked you to chime in anyway. You know, I'm just saying.
Yeah, I agree. And I think that there's something in the letter too that just keeps sticking out to me because Skip was asking if there were things that were off limits for Black women. And I want to start by saying that everything can be out in the open if you are a safe space, right? If you are someone who this woman feels like she can talk to and she can share her experience with and she won't be judged or she won't have to see this in some, repurposed way again later, like you'll definitely get to talk about everything. But then there are a couple of things like hair that are like just sensitive topics, for Black women. And those are things that you're just not going to navigate easily, and just know those things and that sometimes they're gonna come up. And this is my season of grace, right? So I'm always going back to grace, right? Give yourself some grace, give her some grace. Sometimes you are gonna say things that are triggering, right? But to Mabell's point, if you're walking around and spending your whole time afraid to have conversations with her because you're constantly trying not to trigger her, or you think that you're going to finally figure out the right combination of words that will not trigger her, that it's going to be triggering because you feel conflicted.
Because we know you doing all that. We see you. Right. We feel you having anxiety issues, and you're giving us fucking anxiety. We can't go nowhere to be around someone that's not having fucking anxiety around the shit I'm dealing with in the world. So please.
Yeah. And so those things will when it's not from the heart, people feel that when it's not. Yeah. And it's so just I agree. Yeah. So
boom.
I don't know.
So I don't know how encouraging we were. But you wrote us because we like to keep it 100. But at the end of the day, I think what all three of us were saying is before you worry about how you're going to wiggle in and understand and get to know, you need to just know. So you need to do your homework, continue to do your homework, and I don't know, try again, but you also have the option to not try, thus privilege. So, hey, you know what I mean? So the ball's in your court, Skip. We do wish you well. We wish all those you're in relationship well. You know what I'm saying?
And thank you for trusting us and giving us. No, seriously. Thank you for trusting us with this situation. When you all write us letters, you're inviting us into your life, and I hope that we were able to give you something, even with our guest Mabell here, that will help you in different insights.
Yes.
And I want you and this beautiful Black woman to have love as well.
Exactly. We all deserve love. All right. Thank you, Skip, for just being there in our inbox. We appreciate that. And though we are taking a break, that doesn't mean that the letters should stop coming, because we want to have plenty of letters there when we come back to you guys in August. And I'm sure a lot will happen between now and August, because that is the world we are living in.
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
So you can always write us children during our break in July, and anytime you can write your aunties at yourgayaunties@gmail.com. And again, don't forget, you have 2 more days to contribute to Lights On, which you can do so on Venmo at B909 Creative or patreon.com/yourgayaunties, the Lights On tier. And with that being said, I am Hanifah Walida.
I am Red Summer.
And I am Mabell.
And we are your gay aunties. All right, babies. We'll see you guys in a month. All right.
Bye.
Love.
Bye.